Welcome back everyone to Minecraft Evolution, and in today's episode we have updated the version to RD-160052. This is skipping an unreleased version called RD-20090515. Now in that version, many things were changed or added. This is, of course, despite the fact that it is an unreleased version, so we never publicly got the version released, which is quite unfortunate. Now, woo, hey, okay. I guess we'll get into talking about the bugs, and that is unfortunate. This version has two major bugs, though they are kind of joined together of sorts. The first one is a block rendering problem. As you saw for a split second, the blocks will begin to kind of stretch out in one or multiple directions, and given enough severity, it will just decide to delete itself, basically. Another bug is the GUI, or graphical user interface, will also disappear. This makes breaking and placing blocks impossible, so I'll have to reload the game, and unfortunately this version treats screenshots a little differently. Instead of taking an image of what is currently being shown, it will instead kind of keep an image in memory when you tab into the game or start the game, and that is what the screenshot takes a picture of. And it also has a weird problem in OBS where it kind of takes a minute to properly start recording the screen, so you also lose additional time on that because this rendering problem seems to be time-based. It is only an OBS problem. If you were to just play normally, you wouldn't have any problem, but of course I don't want the first few seconds of every time I come back to be a black screen, which is of course unfortunate, but I'll just have to work around it. Now, speaking of the GUI, in the center of the screen you can see a small crosshair. It might be a little hard to see because it is quite thin. It should be more visible on the dirt or the darker background. And in the top right of the screen you can see the currently selected block. The selected block is decided through the number keys. 1 is for stone, 2 is for dirt, 3 is for cobblestone, and 4 is for planks. Grass blocks unfortunately cannot be placed in this version, but placing dirt next to grass with nothing on top of it will let grass grow onto it of sorts. Now, you might also notice that this was kind of seen in the last video. Now, in the last video it was all stone. This is different from this. If you update a previous world into this version, all of the blocks will become stone, and use this new updated texture. Cobblestone was added in this in RD-2009-0515 and uses a modified version of the previous stone texture. Stone, of course, got a new texture, and grass now is not the same texture on all sides, and instead uses a separate texture for the bottom, sides, and top faces. And it looks like that graphical bug kind of occurred again. I suppose unfortunately it didn't stick, because I would have liked to kind of show it a little more. But that is, from what I recall, due to a misaligned vertex problem with the blocks. Causes the texture to get stretched out. You'll see the like no texture show up, or it'll just show nothing. And of course it decided to take that chunk along with it. That's fine though. Kind of getting back to talking about the blocks and the textures. Of course, planks were added in RD-2009-0515 as well. So was dirt as a standalone block, which you can see over in that pillar. So total, we have 5 blocks now instead of the previous just 1, which is part of the new, more dynamic block system, where blocks each have their own unique ID or identifier, which just helps to have more blocks and block types in the game. Of course, it is a worse system than what we currently have, but you know, that's not a discussion for this video, really. I'm finally back after the relog, and thankfully the grass is finally grown onto the center block, so we can now isolate it from the ground and keep it as is. We'll add a support down there. I'm not going to be too prioritizing of building, unfortunately, because of this version's problems. I don't want to focus too heavily on it, so you get to just listen to me ramble for however long you decide to watch the video for. Alright, so I relogged again. I had to double check whether I had talked about some things, because I totally forgot what I had talked about and what I hadn't. Nonetheless, I believe, of course, I will fix anything. If I do end up repeating something, I'll fix it up. It definitely won't happen again, I hope. Changes with the mobs, it's probably very noticeable, but I just relogged. That was awfully quick. Okay, that was unfortunate. Anyways, yeah, mobs were updated in this version. Very noticeable. Not as many of them generate now. In the last version, 100 of them would generate upon a world being created. That is no longer the case. Only 10 of them will actually generate with the world. However, you can now spawn mobs by pressing the G key. So if you still wanted 100 mobs in your world, you could spawn in 99 of them for your mob-induced insanity. Now, they still don't save with the world, unfortunately. Oh my. Wow. They still don't save with the world, but they can now despawn or sort of be killed if they fall below Y negative 100, I think it is. So if they fall down there 100 blocks past Y level 0, they will despawn. Which we just saw there. Of course, this doesn't affect the player still, so you will still have to press the R key to reset your position. I'm both running out of time and patience. This version is testing my patience, and I don't like it. Anyways, I still have topics to cover, I hope. One of them, which I think is another kind of interesting thing for old Minecraft, is the game actually got renamed twice. In RD-2009-0515, the game was renamed from Cave Game to Cave Game to Minecraft Order of the Stone. For those of you who know Minecraft Story Mode, I believe the name kind of got brought back for, I think they're a group of heroes. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I am not much of a story mode enthusiast. In RD-160052, though, the game was simply renamed to just Minecraft. Anyways, this video is probably going to be a little shorter. This version is testing me a lot, apparently. Now, I still would like to... sorry. RD-160052 did introduce something, nothing quite as grand as the version before it, but that is block particles. These use the same texture as the block itself from the texture atlas, which is basically all of the block textures stitched together in one big picture file, basically, and the game just grabs block textures from there. Now, kind of going back to mention of see, this is kind of what I wanted to preserve. The last few times this bug has happened, you can kind of see the breakdown of the textures, and of course it just had to disappear. I wasn't fast enough. Now, I know this is kind of a late topic to mention because the video is basically already over. There's, I guess, a few things I'd like to kind of bring up. First thing, I'm probably going to, for these older versions, I'm probably going to cut back the video length a little. I know that my last two videos were kind of on the longer side, which I would personally prefer to do longer videos, but I know that not everyone wants to watch 30 minutes of somebody ramble on about nonsense for 30 minutes. Maybe in later versions when there's more to do, I guess. cool, the bug happened again. It's staying there a little bit longer. There isn't much to dissect because it is kind of imploding in on itself, but I think it kind of shows that the vertexes aren't quite aligned, because that of course is not what that's supposed to look like, and it also kind of slopes down into itself, so slopes make a return, sort of. But it's an interesting bug, but goodness is it annoying. I feel like this video is going to be unintentionally longer than I wanted, simply because the amount of times this version's given me troubles. I conveniently have additional footage. Anyways, I know that this video is awfully late. Obviously, if you would believe it, that isn't intentional. I'm awfully picky with recording these videos, specifically my Minecraft videos, because I don't just want to do a voiceover. I do want to try recording while I play, talking while I play. But I have put myself in a position where I feel like there's specific conditions that need to be met before I can properly do that. Like right now, how it's nearly 1 in the morning. So anyways, video is going to be very late. Hopefully not too late. I'd want to release it in the month of December, still before the new year. Unfortunately, we don't have the blocks to do like a Christmas tree, really. Well, sort of could do one. I guess it wouldn't be too bad of an idea to do one. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, I suppose. But in addition to being picky with recording these videos specifically, I have other videos recorded. They are just stuck in editing purgatory. Those ones follow a different format. One where I'm okay with pre-recording the footage and then voicing over it. Of course, unfortunately, again, I'm picky with recording voiceover stuff, as well as I wasn't quite sure how to format them very well. They're non-Minecraft videos, they're Fortnite videos. I know, you Fortnite. Right there, I just lost all credibility, but it's not like I'm moving towards Fortnite. But wise words of, if you're gonna play it anyways, might as well make content of it, right? So I have other videos sort of in the works, which are also conveniently super late from not only when they were recorded, but from when they should have been recorded and released. Alright, well, this version, not very fun. It's still December, a few days out, not even a few days. Christmas was the other day, so I suppose I'll end this off with a late Merry Christmas. Here's a stupid little Christmas tree of sorts. I know, it looks more like a mushroom, but if you got like gifts under it or something, I don't know. That's it for this video though. I'm tired of this version. hopefully the next version fixes the problem. And until next month, I guess.